Hey, fun people! Welcome to Everything Aja. Oh my goodness, I know my voice is like, ah. I am actually out on a little, a little mini getaway. So I wanted to join you guys live today, showing you guys this beautiful scenery in the cabins. Like, yes. So we are gonna have today's Shattered Up Saturday in or well, I was about to say in the woods, but outdoors. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are new here, welcome, welcome. My name is Aja. I'm an educational consultant who helps parents and teachers create a life they love by making a difference. In order to do that, I'm sorry, I'm like, ah. I hear people in the next cabin, but in order to do that, I help parents and teachers manage effective reading instruction. And so that's what I do. And so let me know down below in the chat box, what do you do? What do you teach? How long have you been teaching as well? For me, I am an educational consultant. I have been a kindergarten through fifth grade curriculum specialist, which just means I've been the administrator over teaching and learning. I also have over 10 plus years in Title I schools, both teaching and as an administrator. And I'm also have my reading endorsement as well as I'm certified in correcting and diagnosing reading and mathematics behaviors. Woo! So now that you know a little bit about me, let me know down below in the chat box a little bit about you. If you are new here to Chat It Up Saturdays, each and every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we talk about some hot topics. And today's Chatted Up Saturday conversation is, should schools use money as incentives? Everybody loves a good coin. And last week, we talked about what we would do if we were to get over $50,000. In fact, for some schools, this was their reality. They were able to get over $50,000 and then just were able to use it to whatever they needed for their kids. And so we discussed that last week. And so I saw this article and I knew we had to talk about it on today. So should money be used as an incentive? Good morning, good morning, greetings, greetings. In fact, some schools were actually doing this. They were using money as incentives. And so I ran across an article, and I actually found this on Instagram. It like popped up on my Instagram feed about these Baltimore schools who use money in order to get their kids to show up to school and also boost academic scores. So they were using it as a twofold thing. She said, "Woo woo, virtual preschool owner. Yes, I love owner. Certified pre-K through fifth grade. Thanks for that, girl. I love y'all." And so, with the Baltimore schools, they actually used money for attendance and also academic scores, test scores. And so, what they did is they really allowed children to use the stock market. And so, what they did was pretty much children got to buy into the stock market at those that were, getting good scores, showing up at school on time. And so in Baltimore, what they ended up doing is basically creating an entire program. And its purpose was to help children earn money in hope that it will improve their attendance and their grades. It was actually a very unusual experiment, allowing children to create a stock portfolio. And so with real money, I mean, this wasn't fake money. It's not like it was a fake stock market. They allowed children to buy into the real stock market, and they just wanted to see, what would happen, as a result. And so a lot of kids did buy in, a lot of parents bought in. They said, I loved it because in the article it said some teachers give candy, other teachers give school supplies. So we're using the stock market here, And I loved it because there was a quote from Kevin Burnett, and he actually taught the stock market class there. in Baltimore, but he stated we have a new era of children coming through, and so for a lot of them, money is a motivator, and so it made me think, especially like when we were talking about last week. Good morning, good morning. We were talking about last week how children are different. Like the children that are in our schools now are not the same kids that were in our school 5 years ago, in our schools 10 years ago. These are different types of children, and so we do have to meet them where they are, and that includes our incentives. Our incentives also have to meet children where they are. Like, I loved that quote because, I mean, it's right. Our children are different. Like, stickers are great, but like, stickers or access to the stock market. I'm just saying. What would you like to use as an incentive to get you to do something, you know? And so because we have a different um children, like a different generation that are coming up, we have like everything's different. Should we allow schools maybe to tap in and use money as incentives? A lot of Title One schools are getting more and more funding. They are increasing fundings all around, and so could that be used as incentives? I know not to just like give money to kids, but like in this case, the way Baltimore did it, using it as a stock market, teaching children that at such a young age is very valuable, you know. And it was actually like, if you think about it, you're actually teaching them like life skills with it. So it's not just like it's all about the money or getting children to buy in, but like they were really teaching life skills with this. And then they made the program called Stocks in the Future. And so it was pretty dope. The students could earn up to $80 a year in order to invest the blue chips, and then they would cash out when they graduate. And so that's how the incentive worked. And you think about $80 isn't a lot, but they're earning up to that. And one of the another quotes, who actually founded the incentive program, said we're pretty much dangling money in front of them as a way of getting their attention, and we've got it. I mean, they certainly got my attention as well. Like, money as an incentive, but the way they did it was so clever, and the kids had to pretty much go through the stock market class. So that's why they had a stock market class teacher. And so they put, parameters in place. But like, I want you guys to just think about it. Like, what if, you were able to use, like, do you think that would be a good incentive? Do you think that your children or child would buy in? I've seen some parents, they use, money to do chores. So like, instead of giving an allowance, what do you think an allowance is? Like, like as children, do certain things around the house, then at the end of the week you get your allowance. That's the same thing in my opinion. I mean, I'm just saying, it's still using money as an incentives. So like, why can't schools start slowly implementing? And I guess it's like the direct saying like money, but like, think about it, when you have like a store, like, do I have anybody that's like has a PBIS school? But if you like have a PBIS school and you run like a school store, you're just taking money and buying a toy with it, and then using that toy as an incentive. And so with this school district, they just took the money and invested it in the stock market, and then used that as an incentive for kids. So it is interesting. So um it was really interesting. And so with the Baltimore schools, the district actually hit almost $1 million for the program over the 18-month, program. And the goal also, like, was to try to boost the city's graduation rate, because remember that you couldn't cash out until you graduated. And so you got to think about how that happens, over time. And then the benefits were, students go at school, you have no child left behind. And then this, y'all ready for me? This was the craziest part of it. He said allowances for children for chores while teaching work ethics. Come on now. That is it works though, right? It works. It works. Like doing this works. I feel like money is a great incentive for children. And I like how you said work ethic because you're teaching them, you work hard, you get paid. I mean, that's kind of teaching them that life skill, work and you get paid afterwards. And so that is a life skill. That is something that they could take, moving forward. And so the other crazy thing, y'all, as I was reading this article, um, sorry, about the Baltimore schools, it brought up my county. Is that not crazy? And I've learned something then that we had a learn and earn incentive that paid students at two schools up to $8 an hour to show up for after school after school hours for science and math lessons. And it was at a high school, middle through high, eighth grade through 11th graders that were picked for the program. Listen to who they targeted. They had low attendance, so they had troubling attendance. They had grades, they had low grades, and they had bad test scores. So students with low attendance, low grades, and low test scores were chosen. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like in my county, so crazy. But they had low scores, and then if they were showing up after school for extra tutoring with science and math, then they were able to earn $8, up to $8 an hour. And so that's like the same thing. And so that was pretty much like articles, like, I mean, it works, it is an incentive. And so I think more schools, may personally, I'm like, I think more schools could at least try to do something like that. Because cash incentives, they work on me. I know that. Like, if you think about it, as adults, when we hear free food or you know buy this but you get $10 back, like those type of things do work as an incentive. Another person who was actually a parent actually worried about this. He was a member of PTA, and he said, I would have preferred if it was like grant money as opposed to like tax dollars, so it doesn't look like the school system is trying to pay the kids off. And so that was an opposing quote for it, because of course everybody's not going to be for it, but under the it makes under the underlying message, it makes you think, like, do incentives really work? And they do. There's plenty of research, even Cornell University research, using rewards and incentives to increase participation, improving scores. And even in that study, the author that wrote the study cautioned that there's other factors that can contribute to improvements, but incentives, they can be used the correct way. And you also have people that may abuse incentives. You have people that certainly abuse incentives, that don't know literally how to do it. I liked on all of these that it was like a cap, like you couldn't go over this amount, even with the Baltimore schools, that $80 a year was the max they could get. And then you couldn't cash out until you graduated. So even with that, there were certain parameters put in place. But let me know, do you guys know anybody, or your school, that does something similar? Do they use some sort of cash reward as an incentive, whether it be for test scores, attendance, anything like that? And so I know typically, like I stated earlier, with PBIS schools, you have people that would do like a little store and kids could come and buy like toys and stuff, but like actual cash, whether it be in a stock market form or money, like I was saying, up to $8 an hour to come get tutoring, like paying the children. And so then it also makes it seem like, okay, catch 2020 also makes it seem, how, like, did y'all mama ever tell you, I'm not gonna compliment you for something I expect you to do? Like, going to school is your job. up until you're 18, but going to school is what you do. I go to work so that you go to school. And so if children, you know, Catch 2020, we do get paid to do our job, but it's like you're now paying them to do something that you expect for them to do, or something that's expected out of them to do. And so, it just raises, that thought. I'm not a parent that does do, allowances, but I'm like, it's kind of the same thing. Like, if we are going to use that working aspect, like you work and then you get paid. And so I really think the controversy part is when the school does it and it's on the school's terms to actually implement it. And so I think that's where like a lot of the controversy came in. But I was like, hey, it was interesting. It was also interesting to see how they used the class. Like kids had to go through the stock market class. And you got to think what they learned about the stock market probably stayed with them their entire lives, because I know I don't personally know much about the stock market, but if I was in high school and y'all were paying me to show up to school and I'm learning about the stock market, I would be remembering it. And then as I graduated, you could either keep your money in your stock market or you can cash out. And so you got to think they were really setting children up for success in a different way. I know back when I was in fifth grade, I was in Indiana, and we did this thing called Exchange City, which was like a pretend city. We worked on that thing the entire school year, but we got to earn businesses. We got to vote for a mayor. We got to, I mean, like the entire city. We pretty much created. It was super cool. I learned how to manage a checkbook and like all of those life skills I learned through that program. And so I feel like there's not that many programs out there like that. And I'm gonna move this real quick. I feel like there's not that many programs that do that. And so I feel like I'm for it. I'm for anything that teaches children any sort of life skill that they can use outside of the classroom. Because honestly, that's what they're gonna remember the most. That's what they're gonna take and hold on to. He says, as adults, we get paid for our skill set. Hello. You said so it's okay to give kids incentives as well. Now, none of it is guaranteed, but when it happens, we tend to work harder, right? Somebody says they're gonna pay you for something, you're like, all right, let's go. And you're right. Even like, what if? Okay, catch 2020, because I love how you said skill set. Like, what if we paid children for their extra skills? For example, you know how like you have children who may have high test scores. So like all these programs are paying the children with low test scores as an incentive. But maybe you also pay children with high scores and they come in on Saturdays and maybe they tutor. Now it becomes a job that's based on your skill set. Maybe a child is very creative. Can they paint a mural and they get paid for that? Like, and so almost like mini jobs at a young age. And so you have children that are so talented. These kids nowadays, y'all, boy, they are so talented. And so, you use their talents, like allow them to feel like, I'm not saying everybody need to go around and pay their kids, but like we can use their gifts, and that one teaches them how the real world works. But they're learning life skills, and they're also, I mean, confidence is boosted. Like I can think of so many benefits. You said great idea. I love it. I love it. Kids love like to tutor and to help and like just helping the teacher. Maybe they get to come in on a Saturday to help, and like there's ways that I feel like we could use money as incentives. And I get it, like you don't want to pay, children off, but like if they're coming outside of school hours, I feel like why not? Like that's what the other school did. After hours come and we'll pay you up to $8 to come and learn. Like it's the same thing. You said you think that's a win-win. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Well, oh goodness, I almost choked y'all. I was like, what? And I think my voice is gone. Is my voice gone? It seems really hoarse. You know, I'm sorry. That's all I can say. I'm sorry. Today is crazy because I don't know if y'all have ever been to Tennessee, but like we're actually doing like this Paula Dean's adventure park. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be talking loud then too, and so hopefully my voice doesn't go all the way away because I know my voice was gone a few weeks ago. But yes. So thanks for all your ideas, and if you are watching the replay and you have any other input, let us know down below. I would love to know your thoughts on using money as incentives. You said choking is not allowed, Asha. Thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yes, and so this next week we'll have a poll on the community post. We do it like every few chatted up Saturdays. So let us know what topic you want for next Saturday. But yes, I saw this on Instagram. Had to look it up about schools using cash as incentives for attendance and test scores, and it was very interesting. Very interesting. Aspect to talk about, like interesting point of view to talk about. Well, fun people. Yes, I'm trying to show y'all the cabin a little bit. Um, can y'all see? I don't know if y'all can see. This is a really cute little cabin. I'm gonna try to show y'all outside. Boop, 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 boop. So this is what it looks like. It's so peaceful, so peaceful, so peaceful. Well, fun people, thanks for tuning in for Chatted Up Saturdays. Hey, we do this each and every Saturday morning. Hey, Keisha, say good morning, good morning. Hey, my voice is gone. We have realized that. But let us know your thoughts about if children should get paid to pretty much learn. Learn and do stuff. Let me know your thoughts down below in the chat box. And I will see you guys next Saturday, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I'll be home then. Oh, goodness, a bug. I don't like bugs. Do I have anybody else that just does not like bugs? Like bugs and me, we just don't get along. We're not friends. Um, yeah, Bonnie said, Keisha, go back and watch the replay. Yes, it's good. We were talking about the Baltimore schools using money to help boost attendance and test scores. I'll see you guys. He said, you don't like bugs. Come on now. It's like weird. And then you get out here, like in nature, and you just see all kinds of bugs, like all kinds of bugs that you've never seen before. I'm gonna sit my computer and y'all. Okay, weird, but there's like a bear family out here. So when we rented the cabin, they were like, "There's a bear family out there, so just watch out." I'm like, "What?" Not what I wanted to hear. Not what I wanted to hear. He said, oh, "Okay." He said, "Bugs are everywhere, girl, everywhere." All right. Love y'all. See you guys later. Let me know if you're watching the replay. What are your thoughts? Should money be used as incentives for test scores and attendance? I think after the discussion, I feel like, I mean, I thought it was creative. Like, why not? Whatever works. If it works, like we stated, even the person was like, we got their attention. Kids are paying attention. Oh, you want to pay me to learn? Okay, like it works. It works. One year, I should have brought up this point too. One year, what we did is for the state standardized test, we actually got computers, and the top 10% of children all walked away with their own computers, and then the top 30% of children all got their own iPads. Is that not the same? Is that not the same? Like, I'm like, we do it anyway. So I don't know why it's so controversial. But like, even then, I was really shocked. Like, some of the computers, were donated, and then we make sure that we had enough for all the children. But yeah, the top 10% all walked away with their own computer. Their parents had to come in, get it. And then the top 30% of children on this test, or was it growth? I forget, but it was the top 30. They walked the right way with iPads. And so the gifts were tiered. So I'm like, it's the same thing. That's still using money as incentives. You said, how cool is that? It was cool. But when I tell you them babies was trying, they were doing everything they could to get their own computer and iPad. Like it works. It works. And so, I mean, I get it. You don't want to pay children to learn, but it works. Like if it works, then it works. Like why? I thought it was interesting using stock markets as an incentive. Like I would do it. Like me personally, I was like, I liked it. It was just an interesting perspective. But like it makes you think, like, y'all let me know, what do y'all use as incentives? Like it just like there's so many things that you can use as incentives. And the nat like when you have incentives and rewards, you have to think about like the entire like background, behind the scenes, like the reason why you're doing it is just to motivate them. And if that motivates a child, why not? Like, a lot of times on here, I'm always trying to teach you guys how to get children motivated to read and stuff. Like, incentives work, they work. So, hey, let me know, should money be used as an incentive? Let me know that down below in the chat box, and I'll see you next Saturday. Chat it up Saturday. See you soon.